Our next coach this morning is the head coach of the VMI Cadets, Sparky Woods. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Cadets suffered a setback this past weekend against North Greenville. Now you head on the road to travel to Virginia for a 3:30 kick on ESPN3. If you can open up and give us a recap of the North Greenville game, and then give us your thoughts on the Cavaliers, we'll take questions.
Well, my congratulations to North Greenville. I thought they played an excellent game, and they had a lot of good athletes. We thought they were a fast team coming in, and they played well. They got off to an early start on us and took the opening drive down and kicked a field goal, and then they kicked off to us, and we mishandled the kickoff return, started in bad field position, and stayed there most of the day. They did a nice job of just making first downs and keeping the ball and scoring. I think we gave up 26 first downs to them, and we've got to get off the field there. Offensively, we missed opportunities to make some plays at times, and credit them. They good defensive football team. They sacked our quarterback 2 or 3 times in critical situations and hurt us, but they were a fast team. I think we are disappointed. We thought we would have an opportunity to have some success against this football team. However, we can see the film and we recognize that they are fast and they played well. We were disappointed in the loss. We feel like that we should win that ball game, and we did not. However, we recognize that they have a talented football team. I think they'll win a lot of games throughout this year and all. So we were disappointed anytime we lose. Certainly disappointed in losing to North Greenville. We get ready to go to University of Virginia. We realize what a tall task that is ahead of us, and have a lot of respect, obviously, for the University of Virginia. It's a great opportunity for our team and our school, so we look forward to that, and I think it gives us a chance to really go out and match ourselves against a high-quality Atlantic Coast Conference school. So Coach London's a great coach, and so our team is disappointed in last week's game, eager to play again and working hard. Had a good meetings yesterday and looking forward to a good practice today. Feel like that hopefully we try to get a couple guys back would help some, and not certain whether that's going to happen or not yet, but I think overall the attitude is one of disappointment, but anxious to get a chance to go play against a great team. Any young man that likes to play college football or coach it likes to get a chance to play on this kind of a stage, and so we're grateful to the University of Virginia for giving us the opportunity to come over and play. We're excited about representing our school, and we're preparing to defeat and upset the University of Virginia. We realize what a tall task that would be and all, but that's the way we go about every ball game, and that's our plan. That's what we've been working towards. So it's Tuesday. We're preparing to play the next team. The next team is the University of Virginia.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions for VMI head coach Sparky Woods. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you join via the web. Questions for VMI head coach Sparky Woods. And Coach, first question I have for you is from a media member based in Belle Isle, Maryland. Don't have a name, so please introduce yourself and for your question of Coach.
Hi, Coach Woods. This is Chris Heidel from Hermith on Radio in Baltimore. Talk about Coach London and the Virginia Cavaliers. What did you see in the last 2 games? They played against some big schools. What did you see on film?
Chris, I was impressed with what they've done. They beat outstanding BYU team, and I know they had to feel great about that. BYU turns around and beats the University of Texas the next week, and so they've got that was a great accomplishment by Virginia in itself to beat them. I think everybody understands Oregon and what they're the number 2 rated team in America, and rightly so, and I think they're an outstanding team. They were able to make some big plays on Virginia as a result of their speed. But down in and down out, I was impressed with how Virginia stood up to them. Virginia has an impressive team as well. They have a big, strong defensive line, got long players that can really run, and they get around that ball. They're a very physical football team. I think Coach London's got an excellent team there. I think they're going to win some games as well. Offensively, they've not done as well as I know they would hope to be against two really good defensive football teams in BYU and Oregon. So, but they hung in there and made the plays to win it against BYU, and I was impressed with how they played throughout the entire game against Oregon. So there's a lot of no gains in the Oregon game. The games that came for Oregon, as they often do, were big games. But they've got good speed in the secondary. They've got long, fast linebackers, and their defensive front is really big and physical. Offensively, of course, they got a massive offensive line. They got tough runners at running back, and their quarterback is capable of running and passing. They've got skill at receivers. So this is a really good team, certainly a team that would be a match for anybody, as they were Oregon or BYU. Be a huge challenge for us.
What's it like playing against a team in the Commonwealth of Virginia? Because I know the Commonwealth of Virginia has a lot of good teams, like James Madison and you guys and Liberty, and although you have to go to the shore with Richmond and all those people. What's it like playing against somebody in your state?
Well, I think it's great because familiarity the players have with each other. They all go to camp together out of high school, and they all know each other and go through recruiting processes together. Many of them went to the same high schools, or at least played against each other in high schools. So, college football is supposed to be a fun event, and it certainly is when it's in the when you play around people that you know and you're familiar with. We have great respect for the University of Virginia, and we're in the state of Virginia. There's a lot of great schools and a lot of great football played in this state, and so this is certainly one of the best ones, and we have a chance to play against them. So this is something, you see them in the paper every day, you see them on the news, so it's not like playing a team away from you that you're not familiar with. Certainly know their players, remembered them, and as they were coming through high school and all. So it's very exciting. The state of Virginia is full of exciting football, I think, and so it's made up of great high school coaches that do a good job and send a lot of these guys to these different mini colleges in the state of Virginia. We happen to be one of them, getting ready to play another one. So I think it's fun. You want to, as a team and an individual player, to do well, against these guys. So we're excited about this opportunity. We're grateful to the University of Virginia for giving us this opportunity. Certainly, we appreciate the money, and we're going to go over there and get after it and do our very best to put the best football team we can out there.
Well, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that, man.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coach, next question for you is from Hank Kurz of the Richmond. Hank, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. How you doing, Coach Woods?
Okay, Hank. Thank you.
Good. You mentioned the opportunity it is for you guys, and a lot of people see these games. There's a bunch of them this weekend as just kind of money grabs for the underdog. Can you just talk about it from an opportunity standpoint for your players to kind of go up against, the cream of the crop and that kind of thing? That makes it more than just a payday.
Well, I think that as far as the coach and the players, we have to see it as that it's a 60-minute contest that we got a chance to be involved in. But I think everybody likes to play on the big stage or play in front of large crowds, TV, so on and so forth, and we have that opportunity. So if you aspire to be the best college football player or that you can be, coach, then you get a chance to match yourself against the best. So it's a great life experience, I believe, and one that you bond together and pull hard to work with and say, hey, gosh, I've had a chance to go against outstanding football team like Virginia. So I think that it's one that if you're a competitive person, that you would be excited about having that kind of opportunity. Is it good for, you make some money. Yeah, I think there's certainly a reason behind that, but the notoriety it brings to your school as well. So you can look at the obvious reasons that it's not a good thing to do, but I'd rather choose to look at the reasons that are good for it and try to accomplish those. Same time, you have an opportunity. You know, it's America. It's a 60-minute opportunity, and you want to take advantage of that.
Do you worry, you talked about how big and fast they are, do you worry about getting out of there without any injuries?
Yeah, I do. I think that we talk about that. We talk about trying to prepare and play for a number of players. Of course, you don't go into a game worried. You don't go into a game in fear of getting hurt. Certainly, you realize that when you're playing against bigger, stronger, faster, that's a possibility. We got hurt playing on a couple years ago. You know, we lost a couple quality players in that. You know, I think we went down. We thought we played an outstanding Richmond team, and I thought Richmond carried NC State to a real closing part of the game, and I think it had an effect on Richmond's football team. I saw where a lot of guys that played against us, you know, were absent in a game against, say, Gardner-Webb or something. So, yeah, I think you worry about how that can have an effect on your team, but I don't think you can, you know, you've got to pad up and you got to go play. Certainly you got to think as a coach in terms of number of reps and opportunities, how you can stand up. You just can't go out and say, well, you just block that guy or you just tackle that guy. Somewhere along the line it comes down to where you have to do that, but you try your best to help your team as much as you can to conquer or at least compete against a group of young men who are probably bigger, stronger, faster.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, Hank. And Coach, last question for you I have is a media member based in Newport News. I don't have a name, so please introduce yourself before talking to Coach.
Coach, this is David Steele with the Daily Press. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You would, again, kind of talk about what Hank mentioned. You mentioned Virginia's size on the defensive front. Given your struggles running the ball so far this season, is that going to put even more on Eric's shoulders on Saturday?
You know, I think down in distance and score puts pressure on your offensive team and takes away from your running game at times. If you're behind and you're trying to win, and then, you know, certainly you don't just abandon the run, but if you're behind a great deal and behind in the score, behind on the sticks, behind in field position, behind in time, then, you know, you don't want to just go out there and run it up the middle every time. And so I think that usually it does. It puts more pressure on your quarterback and, of course, everybody involved. If you're trying to block for that pass rusher and it's definitely a passing down where they can give up, say, 4 or 5 yards and still not lose the first down, it sure allows them to kick their heels back and come and get you. And if you've got a lead that you're pretty comfortable with, it allows you to do a lot of things aggressively on either side of the ball. You know, it lets you attempt at things that you might not do if the game was still in limbo of who might win it. So circumstances, I think, put that in it, and going into it, I think we better prepare for some of those circumstances. Absolutely.
369 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks on Saturday. One of his better games. I know he's had a bunch, but.
Well, thank you. He's played good. You know, I think he's had 2 back-to-back 300-yard passing games, and I think that's the first time maybe that's been done here since Dave Brown did it. You know, back in maybe the 80s, I guess. So, you know, I think he's a good quarterback. I think, you know, he would be a guy that's excited about this in the sense that, you know, he has aspirations. He'd like to have a chance to maybe be considered as an NFL football player one day. So certainly when we play around him, he plays good, but the challenges are great here, and we're going to have to help him every way we can. We got to help him as a defensive football team, and special teams with field position. Our offense, obviously, we got to make some first downs and get there and keep the ball. We got to not put him in those situations. As coaching, I got to try to help him as much as I can in play selection and circumstances of that. But he's still got to go play quarterback, and he will. He's done it every week for us here. He's been a great ambassador for our school and a great deal. And And he was part of the defeat in our game last week, too, so he's not perfect, and he realizes that, but he works at it every day, so that's all you can ask to. He's a really pleasure to coach, and we're fortunate to have him here at VMI.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. And, Coach, Nick Pierce has a quick question for you, as does Mark Berman. So we'll start with Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Coach, you referenced the money a couple of times from UVA. Just wanted to kind of curious, like what kind of plans the athletics department had for that.
I don't know. I don't know what we'll do with that. I guess I assume we do whatever other school does it. That tries it. College athletics is expensive. For everyone. So I imagine we'll use it and add to the budget and try to figure out how we can use it the best way to improve athletics in general at VMI. I really don't know the answer to that. We're in the process of, it may already be spent. I don't know. We're trying to, we need more of it. I know that.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. And last question for you, Coach. I believe Mark Berman from the Roanoke Times.
Good morning, Sparky.
Good morning, Mark.
Just to follow up on what you were saying before, when you look at UVA in film, what is the biggest? Is the biggest thing that worries you their speed, or is it their size, or is it just the sheer numbers of players? What's kind of the thing that most has you scratching your head this week?
All the above. I think they're really. This team beat BYU, and I think they played very well against Oregon. It's not a disgrace to see Oregon score 50-some points. I see it every Saturday when it comes up, So I think Virginia should have ambition of having a great year. I think they've got a lot of great players, and they're physical in all capacities. And certainly going to be the best, most talented football team that we play. And so I think it's all the above there. I think they're I don't see, when I look at them, I don't say, well, boy, we can do this, or they're weak at that, or something. I think they're a impressive team. However, we're proud of our players. We think our players are guys that are about the same age, and they're competitive too. So we're doing everything we can to give our players a chance to be competitive against this outstanding team we play. So we know that they're going to show up with good players and play well. We got to make sure that we do with our team.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mark, and that's all we have for you, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Good luck Saturday at Virginia.
Thank you.
All right.